with Uniqo Williams. That's right, it's your boy coming at you on a Thursday, as I always love to do, because Thursday is my favorite day of the week. Why? Well, I was born on a Thursday, 11:47 a.m. Woo! So happy to be amongst you all today. And let me just ask you about your week. How's your week going? You gotta work more than usual? You gotta work 6 days this week? Well, did you get to go to Chipotle at least? Did you at least have get to have some of your favorite things? Did you get some of that garlic steak? I wasn't able to have garlic steak. But I would ask, was it tasty? Did you go back for more? But that's okay, because I want to thank you for coming back to me, as you always do. Woo! And I gotta bring, you know what, for this episode here, I gotta bring my boy Zelmay out today. Zelmay, how you doing?
I am blessed, highly favored. I'm still cute, even though I look a little rough. But I'm looking clean. I'm looking sexy.
I'm thinking about the great state of Mississippi. But before I get into that, man, I just need to get into something here. This is such a tragedy. This is so terrible. I believe that the media needs to just take so much heat of this. We need to talk about this every single day. Ime Udoka, the head coach of the finals making Celtics of last year, he's been caught up in a scandal here where he's made love or had sexual interactions with somebody in the organization, which is explicitly prohibited in the Boston organization. And he is looking at a year-long suspension. Now, I know how you feel about Doc Rivers, and we know about what's going on with Doc Rivers right now. We're feeling like that sex rehab rooms are just being filled with people at this point. But I digress. Zelmay, how do you feel about this situation that is so pressing? We just care so much, because I got to tell you, Zelmay, how you feel about this?
Have you ever seen someone, like, we have had people pull guns on people. We have had people
in the locker room.
We have had people hit people with chairs. We have had scandals.
Yeah,
we done had abuses. We done had illegal stuff. We done had dudes that have committed heinous felonies, and they got. This man lost Nia Long. He has suffered enough. Nia Long is me and Joey. You know how we are. That is our childhood crush. But most young black men. This man cheated on Nia Long. First off, we black men don't cheat. We don't know who he is. He from what name? He is not African American. We do that's Udo. Black men, African American will never cheat on Nia Long, because that's the one we want. As J. Cole said, I feel like I'm too young for Nia Long, and I don't feel that way right now.
That's fair. Keep the form up. Keep the form up. When you shoot,
elbow,
you gotta keep that form up. So this is where I land at with this. Nia Long is a legend in the hood. We know about her. Fresh Prince. We know about her from Friday. I mean, Hood Classics. All black people know about Nia Long. We know all about that. He apparently had a baby for him. And I guess he was a good player for the Spurs at some point, and then he became assistant coach to Popovich, and then he said, you know what, I can't get a job here in the Spurs organization the way I want to, so he moved out. He started working, in, I believe, in Utah. This is just big news, Zelmay. This is huge news. This is all we should care about right now. Do you hear me?
Like, why do we care? This man cheated on his wife.
We don't know if they're the misses or the misses in this. We don't know that because it's not been proclaimed.
So he might. But the thing is, he cheated with a woman that's inside the organization. Brett Favre, as we say, Brett Favre essentially was sending lewd messages and doing masseuse. It seemed like Brett Favre had done everything that all these people have said they would do, except he did more.
Oh. So hold on. What you're saying to me is, first of all, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna move on. Okay. We all have work girlfriends. Okay. And that's one thing that I have missed about working in a place and then working from home. I don't have a work girlfriend at home. Sorry. But when we did, it happens, man. It happens. It is what it is. You know, I got more divorces in the workplace than anything. But I'm gonna tell you like this here, though, Zelman. Can we get into some real news? Because we all do that. We all have a work boyfriend, work girlfriend, all that type of stuff. We've all had that before. Like like on them bad day, you know, you ever work with a girl that had a bad day with they dude, and you know, you just so happen to look a little bit more handsome than what he looks like. You just a little bit more funny, and life looks a little bit more better with you. But you know, you gotta stay faithful to who you with, right? But that being said, you can't do it. But you can have a work boyfriend or a work girlfriend. It is what it is. So I definitely missed that part about, you know, working from home. I missed that. But let's talk about this here. Let's talk about real news. Brett Favre, great state of Mississippi. We love Mississippi. I love Mississippi. Do you love Mississippi? You, as a resident of Mississippi, do you love Mississippi?
I got to, man. It's my home. That's where I grew up. That's where I got that manhood and all that stuff put into you. That sounded mad crazy, but you know what I mean.
It's slightly mad crazy, but it's also okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they them old heads would give you knowledge through words. Okay, this simple.
Hey, Mark Zuckerberg 100% blocked my channel, and that's okay. He's a punk. I'm not worried about that. You can't catch everybody that doesn't like you, punk. So let's talk about real news because man, what we've all had this stuff happen. It is what it is. Sometimes at work, you know, you just fancy somebody. You know, sometimes your girl might just be just doing too much. She just get on your nerves. You can always go to work and get with your work girlfriend. Y'all just meet up. And you know, it be only you and that girl sitting in the break room and y'all sit right next to each other. You know what I'm saying? Tell me, you ever had that before?
Uh,
You ain't gonna speak on it. Don't be like that. This my show. This ain't the overall 99. This my show. This my show. You not gonna speak on that?
we gonna keep that. Hey, listen.
Wow, you
Shout
are
out to
the most pandering on the
shout out to-
fence nigga ever. I can't stand it.
listen. Shout out to Men's Day program at Waters Grove MB Church, Brandon, Mississippi.
Man, I'm done with. I'm not. Hold on. I was gonna say I'm done with Mississippi. I can never be done with
At
Mississippi.
12 o'clock.
I can never. You know, I'm taking my microphone out for this because you know what? Damn this. Listen. Let's talk about the history of Brett Favre, if you don't mind. Because this ain't about Ime. This show, y'all thought it was about to be about Boston and all that. I don't care about all that. We do that. It is what it is. It happens. You know, now, if I was ever to be married and in a committed relationship, I would never do this. I would never have a work girlfriend. No, never. But I'm not. And so here's the deal, Banana Peel. Brett Favre has a long history of, let's see, I don't know. Let's start with the because they failed to talk about this when they brought him into the Hall of Fame. They didn't bring up these things the way that they bring stuff up you know, for Terrell Owens. Remember Terrell Owens? There was so much controversy. What was his controversy? Oh, he was too much of a character. Oh, Terrell Owens, he was too much of a team
The Super Bowl with a broken leg
for his team. But y'all tried to make it seem like it was for him. He's selfish. He's a selfish player. That's what y'all said about him. And that kept him out of Hall of Fame, even though he's the #2 wide receiver of all time in all stats. Corredo, am I wrong about that?
He's 2 or 3. It's between him,
Top
Jerry
three
Rice.
wide receiver of all time. Can we agree on that? Top three wide receiver of all time. You got Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, and Terrell Owens. Those are the three. Is there anybody else you can argue that can be in that?
He put Calvin Johnson in there because based off per capita,
I'll
like
give.
based
I'll
on how
give you.
many years he retired in 8 years because Detroit was like, nope, we ain't letting you go. So you're like, I ain't
I
doing
will
it.
say Calvin Johnson is debatable, very debatable as a top three wide receiver. But Terrell Owens is solidified in there. I would say that um um Terrell Owens is a much better wide receiver than Jerry Rice, in my opinion, in his era. You know the way that they try and do the
Jerry Rice
LeBron
played
James.
in 3 different eras. He's kind of Jerry Rice is the difference between a lot of people because he proved it. The man played in 1980,
Yeah,
1990, and 2000. So he went through 3 different eras of receiving.
that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
The man
That's
took
fair.
Rick Gannon to the Super Bowl.
At a very much older age, yes, he took Rich. I'll give you. I'll give you all that.
Rick Gannon.
And then Randy Moss was a freak of nature. Terrell Owens, he did what he did. Top, okay, I'm just gonna say top five. Then I'll leave it at top five. Terrell Owens is a beast, but they brought up all these allegations about To that were not legal or anything like that. They were just talking about him as a player and all that. When Brett Favre came up, Shannon Sharp said that nobody better than I about the Vicodin addiction. Nobody brought that up. Nobody brought up when he was with the Jets and he pulled a Deshaun Watson, an alleged Deshaun Watson, with the masseuse and sending inappropriate pictures to women on the staff of the Jets. Brett Favre is the epitome of the Mississippi white boy. I'm not being racist. What I'm telling you is I'm about to get into the history of Mississippi, and you correct me where I'm wrong in some places, please, because you live here, you know the history. I spent my summers and my winter breaks there. Okay, I spent a lot of time there, but you lived there and you lived it every single day. Brett Favre played for Southern Miss, and let's talk about this. I went to Jackson. Jackson is predominantly black, correct?
It's
I went.
probably one of the most black cities in the country.
I
Detroit,
mean, even more black than Atlanta, probably, right?
Washington D.C. might be the only city that might be more black than Jackson. Jackson's about 90% black, 93% black.
Oh, that's high. That's a high amount of black people, right?
Yeah, it ain't.
So even when I went there, white folk was still trying to treat me like I was less than, and it's more of us than it is of you. But they still was like, had their nose to the air, wouldn't hold the door open for me. And I said, damn, you can't hold the door open for me. I brought my northern ass, went down there, and I told him, I said, damn, you can't hold the door open like I would do for you. And he just kept walking to his big old pickup truck. The racism is still there. Let's also talk about this. When you let slaves go in Mississippi, I mean, it was like, shit, what we supposed to do? Now we free, what we supposed to do? So you stay there and do the best that you can. And that's why they said that Mississippi is the most poor state in the United States. Is that correct?
Yes, with the highest percentage of black people.
With a high percentage of black people, and it's the most poor state. So let's go on. So Brett Favre has all these allegations against him. He is the epitome of the. He's a slave owner without a plantation. He got that mentality, if you ask me. He runs Mississippi. I'm running all this whole state. And he had the nerve to ask the state of Mississippi to figure out a way to give $5 million to his alma mater, Southern Miss.
My alma mater too.
And shut up. You're killing my point right now. Because black people go there too. Shout out to my cousin Wes, who is Mr. 99. That's why we on this channel right now, because shout out to Kid Creative Player.
Fun fact about this. When me and Wes was in school, when we created this, actually when we created Overall 99, it was by random happenstance, and I can go in this story, but the year we did it, Southern Miss actually had more black people than white people. And they literally raised tuition by $2,000 a semester, and that quickly changed back.
Now, I have an idea and a thought in my head. So my thought in my head is, okay, more black people go here, which means that they're probably going to need a loan to go here, correct? Probably loans that they cannot pay back. Is would I be correct in that thinking, which would put more families in a hole in a state that is already in a hole? Is that correct thinking?
That is true. Most people there was in debt, most especially black people.
Okay.
Those
Now
black
that
people are wealthy, they come from wealthy people.
got it. That being said, allegedly, Brett Favre reached out to his connects because you know he cool with old Mr. Governor up there, who was sitting right there in Jackson, watching all this stuff happen in Jackson, and then you know the rest of the state. And he said, we need $5 million. And what did the state of Mississippi decide to do? They decided to take that $5 million to help build a volleyball arena at Southern Miss for his daughter to go to, which is his alma mater. Now, I could see if you take money from, I don't know, I'm trying to think of anything that's taxed. But what you chose was welfare. So when people need welfare from the state, that means that they're in a situation where they're impoverished. They need help from the state to survive. So what you did was you took money from the poorest of the poor in an already poor state to do what you needed to do. How do we feel about Brett Favre as a person at this point?
Brett Favre is a horrible human being.
Absolutely.
I don't even know how you question it. The man, y'all mad at Deshaun Watson. Brett Favre did it first. You mad at cheating on your wife. Brett Favre did it first. You mad at Tiger Woods. Brett Favre did it first. Brett Favre the first to steal from welfare. Clinton, by the way, for people that know, Clinton Portis in on this as well, but Clinton Portis was actually broke because he wasted all his money in law, Mississippi. But that's
relax. This is not about Clinton Portis right now.
Brett Favre made $140 million. Clinton Portis made like 10, and he lost it all. This is different. And where's the $1 million man, Ted DiBiase, by the way? He ain't even from here. I don't even know how he got in this.
I don't know either. And I'm looking up right now. Brett Favre has an estimated net worth of $100 million. You stole $5 million from the poorest of the poor, and you could have spent $5 million out.
By the way, for my Clinton Portis point, Joe, before you go, Clinton Portis is worth negative $5 million because he in debt right now. So we understand why.
No. Don't bring.
No, but you see, we understand him versus the dude that's got $100 million net worth. Joe, when you owe $5 million, you kind of might get a little desperate.
you know, I live, and that's fair. I live in a place called Indiana. My roots 100% rooted within Louisiana and Mississippi. I'm rooted there. That's where I'm from. I live in Indiana. And you got $100 million sell, and I'm sure some of those sales and some of the money you got come from Wrangler Jeans, who I live in the country, by the way. I live outside of the city. And I know they wear all that bullshit. And you getting off that damn Ford truck, throwing the football around in some mud with the good old boys. Brett Favre, you ain't right, man. You are the epitome of the Southern good old boy. You don't care. And my problem is the media coverage when it comes to Brett Favre. Brett Favre accepted money for speeches and didn't give the speech. Didn't show up. He paid some money back, I believe they said. Brett Favre is allegedly, because we're gonna say allegedly before he come over here and try and hit me like Cardi B did that girl Tasha K. I'm not putting your name through the mud because us as Americans should already be throwing your name through the mud like the
We
mud
gotta
that
put
you
up
be
your
throwing that
reports too,
football
so
in.
they can't do it. Like they said this.
I ain't seen no court papers. I ain't seen no tax papers. I ain't seen the $5 million check. But you know you gotta be wrong, right? Zelmay, hear me out here. You know you wrong when you gotta ask, do you think the media is gonna find out about this? There's a text message that says, do you think that there's a way that the media will ever find out about this? Well, Uniqo Williams up here in Indiana, he knows about it.
By the way, the
So what
woman he
happens
sent that
next?
to, by the way, the woman that he sent it to, I think got like multiple years in like 30 years in prison, I think. So she's already going to jail. She's snitching. So ain't no allegedly with her and what he said.
I don't believe Brett Favre will get any like court cases behind this or anything like this in regards to him going to jail criminal case. He gonna have to pay what he owed, man. What's the solution to this? He's not said a word. Do you think he'll come out and be like, I was wrong?
No, what he's saying is I have had 500 concussions in my life. That's all he said.
CTE made me do it. CTE made me take $5 million from poor people.
That's all he's saying lately. I had thousands of concussions. I'm like, okay.
And I actually like it's documented. That might hold up in court.
Nah, it's a certain level you get. You still got cognitive. Yeah, cognitive.
Well, let's talk about this. We're talking about quarterbacks that have scandals. We had Michael Vick, and they wouldn't stop talking about him. And matter of fact, while he was in federal prison, they was keeping tabs on him. They still show coverage on that. They're not talking about this enough for me, and that's why I'm bringing it up today. My cousin Will called me today. He said, "Jones, you got to stay up on top of the topics that's going on right now." No, I understand that happened. I'm going to talk about it today, and I'm going to talk about it next week. We need to remind hashtag hold Brett Favre accountable. That shit's not cool. Like, bro, I can see if you took it from the upper people, like you stole money from the Republican Party. You stole money not stole. You allocated funds from the Republican Party. You allocated funds from the Democratic Party. Bro, you took money from the welfare system. It don't get no sleazier than that. I'm just saying. So, with that being said, that's what I got on Brett Favre. You as a Mississippian, how do you feel?
Hey, I root for the man to go to jail. He been a menace to society. Joe, do you know he did the same thing? He did the same thing Deshaun Watson did, and he got only a $50,000 fine.
I mean, let's talk about it. I mean, we right here.
Except for he actually touched the girl. He actually touched the girl. Deshaun apparently had a girl crying in the corner allegedly, and while he was handling his business, and she had to watch. He actually touched him. I ain't doing degrees of it, but I'm just saying he did the same thing. Got a $50,000 fine.
Skip Bayless actually said today that, or a couple of days ago, or what have you. He said that this type of stuff, this sexual abuse thing, or like not even sexual abuse, because they were talking about coach of Boston. They were talking about how that type of stuff ran rampant, and it's like even with the players, the flight attendants, the flight attendants didn't stand a chance. We were talking about those kind of things, and Brett Favre got off really easy. 50 bands and you worth 100 million? What's 50 bands? What is that? I don't even see that missing. Because I got some Wrangler jeans to put on. So I don't know. whatever. At this point, I will mention Brett Favre's name until something happens because I did enjoy him. John Madden made him pretty much a star because he's like, I love the way he plays the game. He's like just playing like he's out in the backyard. Playing out back, he playing in the backyard at the plantation that his family owns. That's the backyard he's playing in. So, and rest in peace, John, man. We love you. But any other news that hit your mind or anything you want to talk about, especially in regards to Poggers versus W culture?
Yeah, it's Twitch is in an uproar to the point that Twitch actually made a change, Joe.
Whoa, whoa,
Twitch
whoa, whoa,
never
whoa,
makes a
whoa,
change.
whoa, 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 whoa! Excuse me? Twitch did what?
They made a change. They banned gambling, Joe.
That wasn't to help anybody.
It was not. It was because all of those pocket streamers created a war amongst themselves because of ego, lack of social skills, strange people. I don't know. They just decided, yo, we gonna shut y'all up by banning this thing y'all asked us to ban a week ago, and now it's over with, right? Nope, it's still going on today. I'm reading a video that just came out, and I'm trying to figure it out right now. But it's ongoing. It probably ongoing for 2 weeks. So everybody in the Pockets community decided they're gonna start leaking everything about each other. And the Pockets community, for y'all to know, is a group of people who on Twitch who created a networking group because it's just like high school, Joe. And since they got popular, they got rich together. And then once one got rich, they created a group to stay on top. Essentially, how it started. And they still, and even the other groups, you have the WL community, which is a newer group full of NBA 2K people, or like people that used to do Flight Reacts. Shout out to Your Rage, the Flight Reacts videos where he used to just yell over. Now he's popping himself.
Shout out to Flight Reacts, man.
Remember I don't know if you remember Your Rage when he was a plug channel.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, so him, all them, Aiden Ross, who got on by playing 2K and then playing GTA and then started having rappers on there. You have Bruce, who's part of OTK, so he's actually part of that group he's on the other side of the Pocket community. He barely even did content with him, but he got signed to him. You get paid, you get a free house, you don't have to pay. To be honest, it's a sweet deal that the guy Misgift gave them because I think they had to pay $200, like $200 a month to stay in this mansion. So I don't blame them for that.
I wonder if they'd be mad at me because, like, nah, bro, I gotta work. I gotta do some work from home stuff, like to make this $200 a week real quick.
You can hustle $200 a week, but yeah, you got Bruce, and they part of the WL. You got Cassinet, who is now the second biggest streamer on Twitch. Shout out to the brother. It's good to see a black dude second biggest. Last time we had that was Myth. He's on YouTube now, but shout out to him. You got Phantom, Duke, Dennis, and all that group. They came out playing 2K, play IRL basketball, doing stuff like that, and they on the come up. So shout out to that group. And then you got like that's the only two groups that's on YouTube now because the other group would be the OTV group. But most of them, besides Pokey and Toast, is on Twitch. All the other ones on YouTube.
Okay, you gave us the overview.
Yeah, I'm just explaining how the culture is. The culture is like a high school.
I want you to say what you said to me before we got on stream. OnlyFans and nerds run Twitch.
That's what Abba said. I just wanted to repeat. I thought it was funny that Abba actually said.
I mean, but are we wrong? Like, it's a whole bunch of.
Well,
here we go.
That's the reason I wanted to bring up the WL community because that's
okay.
Kind of a group that's not quite that. You know what I mean? And there's another group that's like Los Polos and Cash Nasty and the basketball group, but they more YouTubers that turn Twitch streamers. Like, you don't think of them as Twitch people.
Yeah.
Them the IRL basketball dudes. Like Flight Reacts too. Them the IRL basketball guys. So I don't really consider them Twitch
since we're calling Flight any type of athletic IRL, but fine. You want to put them in that box.
Well, he's the guy that got beat by a little 11-year-old kid. So he still played, but he got beat. But I just wanted to let y'all know that's how it's separated. And basically, if you don't get in those groups, chances are you limited. The most you'll probably get is 1,000 viewers, and that's if you lucky because Twitch is so
Hey,
top heavy.
hold on. I'm sorry, Zelmay. Hey, hold me down real quick. Hold me down. Keep it
Okay,
going. Hold me down.
but Twitch is so top heavy that if you get 51 viewers, you are in the top 1%. So essentially, what is happening is that to get into that 1%, you have to just grow on your own and then get in that 1%, and then hope once you're in that 1% that you are adopted into one of these groups. The WL community came by off YouTube, which is B. Lou and Zias was saw Aiden Ross and did videos with him. He grew up, but he's a Twitch streamer, so it happened to blow up Twitch. So that's how his Twitch blew up. He was on the come up in 2K. He was a fun the guy, was entertaining. He got with Bilo and Zias. He started popping off. He had interviews with people and started doing with rappers, and now he did gambling streams, and now he does like role plays and hang out with rappers again. He ain't did that lately, but that's how he got it. So that's how that new community started. It came off of that. So that's why that community is a little different than the communities we are normally talking about. But the other community has been entrenched in Twitch for almost for years. You got the OTK, OTV, the all those different groups, TSM, the gamer groups that they have to indoctrinate you. So you either have to be really good at video game, which usually is cycles for video game people. I just want to go over so because a lot of y'all probably won't understand this. So you have to go into cycles. So usually you be good at this game for 3 or 4 years. They separate you, and then you get a new young kid in there at 16, 20 years old, in which they become good at said video game, and they just cycle you out. So you have those community and that community, and the only way to truly grow these networking sites is to network and join these groups. And guess what? Once you don't do what they want, they kind of shun you away, and it's hard to grow because their communities are entrenched in a lot of views, right? So you have to. Not saying it's impossible. You can be charismatic and amazing to grow in Twitch, but at the same time, it's much harder if you don't network and grow. So essentially, that's all I'm saying is to. This is why, Joe. This is why this is important. I want to explain to people why this is important to the story we're telling. Mm-hmm. Because one of the guys who is in trouble is a leader among this group. So you can't get famous unless you with him, which creates a power dynamic for all Twitch streamers. Like I'm saying, if I can't get past 1,000 views, if I want to start making millions, I got to be around you. I got to be around either FaZe Banks, which Aiden Ross was. I have to be around, which now Aiden Ross is the person that you can kind of get around and become that because he was. Or you can be around, because for y'all to know, Aiden was also around B. Lou Zias, Rice Gum, FaZe Banks, who was the head of FaZe, and other people. So he had the connection. So if you're not in that connection group, you can't grow. It's a limit to your growth, basically, unless you are blessed.
That is the most nerd shit I ever heard in my life.
It's high school though. It's high school too.
It's crazy, bro. Like it's like the nerds took over and I'm not saying nerds in a bad connotation. It's just like, from a physical standpoint, the nerds, quote unquote, would be the ones that are looked down upon in high school. Whereas the jocks, the people that are doing physical activity and whatnot, they would be praised. But now, the dynamic is, okay, you can be a cool athlete, but you probably want to be more of an esport person, honestly. In the age in the world that we live in, because there was a point in time where people couldn't play sports together. All you could do was go on the internet and compete against people, right? Apex and Fortnite and all that stuff. There was the point in time where you had to do that. So
even then,
what do they say? How to turn the tables. But how you would typically say it is how the tables have turned. Yeah, I get that. But
I am the table.
I am the table. You turn it. At the end of the day, I'm still the table. So my thing is this, is that, like I said, these are the things that happen when people get in power that aren't ready to be in power and that aren't ready to be amongst the people that are clamoring over them. They don't even know what to do with this kind of power. They don't know what to do. Bro, it's like what we did was what we said about Heavenly. Okay, you got a name now. You got some bread, you got a Lamborghini, you still a nerd in a Lamborghini. You still you like just because you in a Lamborghini, you still a nerd. and
I don't like the term nerd because nerds do get rich and stuff. They call them
and that,
lames.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
gonna call them
no,
lames.
I am.
They ain't no positive for lames.
Let me say this right now. I'm 100% a nerd. I just so happen to be athletic and handsome. But I prefer to be a nerd before anything else. But being handsome doesn't hurt. I'm just saying I'm a nerd before I like what I like first. Man, listen. I'm the type of dude that I roll up on a girl. Yeah, I got Goku draws on. I don't care. That's what I like.
Yeah,
But it's some people but the oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Easy. I wear what I want to wear. You know what they say, like, when you're young, you couldn't get the things that you wanted. Bruh, if I could have a doggone Ninja Turtles motorcycle, I would. That's the stuff I like. Y'all look at him, he got a Ninja Turtle thing. Look at him, he got a Dragon Ball souped out Lambo. That's what I'm gonna do. Period. And you know what? Actually, I'm gonna make that my goal. I don't even want a Lamborghini. I'm not even into like super duper like souped up cars and stuff like that. I'm gonna get something that people clamor towards, and I'm gonna put my own spin on it. And it's gonna have 7-star dragon on it. It might have Shenron on it. I don't know. But I'm gonna need you to know that that part of me is important to me. Being a nerd, being some no fuck the term nerd. I enjoy being myself and I enjoy paying homage to the things that inspired me to be who I am today. And if you got a problem with that, honey girl, you can get on. Cause like a girl told me one time, I said, now what if I had Dragon Ball sheets all over my bed when you come to my master suite? What man? And she said this, and she was actually more one of the homies than a female that I'm thinking down. She said, well, you better tell that bitch you better get in or get out because that's what you like and that's what you go do. I would love to bang somebody on some Shenron sheets or a 7-star or seven or all 7 Dragon Balls, just a Dragon Ball Z room. And I love to bang a girl in that. And she just gonna have to love that. And if she don't love it, then it is what it is, and you have that choice. Because we give choices around here. But with that being said, Zelmay, any final thoughts on this W stuff? Because I'm just saying it's just a whole bunch of people that don't understand how to handle success or how to handle people actually want to talk to them when they lived a life of people that didn't really want to talk to them or lived a life of people that didn't rock with them because of the things that they're into. But now that all of a sudden they're famous because they're famous and then they have a couple of dollars. I still feel like that doesn't take that out of you just because you got a couple extra dollars. That doesn't take anything out of it. Still the same person. You just got money.
We scared around it, but basically what happened was this girl named Andrea was touched by this guy, Crazy Slick, who said he was checking her pulse through her chest. I'm like, that doesn't work like that, sir. You do that through the wrist. So I don't know. I don't know where. I don't know where.
I kind of would feel like if your heart was beating first, I feel like I would do that.
That's a heartbeat, Joe. He said he was checking the pulse.
That's what I'm saying.
So you check the pulse.
Doesn't your pulse come from your heart?
But it can hot check. She got a breast, Joe. It's harder to feel. For you, it's a little bit easier. For her, it's a lot harder to feel it. If I just grip a chest.
Oh, I feel like grabbing her whole breast like that. That's not it. That's not how you do that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it doesn't make sense when you could have just.
So did he do this, or did he go to where her chest is at and put the 2 fingers?
Yo, it was a hand, dog. I don't know how you chest. According to her, now allegedly, according to her,
the person that they're checking. Wait, hold on. They're checking the person. Who said this?
The girl Andrea. He said
I'm
he's checking.
no
He said he's checking the post. That's what he told him.
checking Andrea's pulse.
Yes, while she was
She
asleep.
is responsive enough to know that he's grabbing her chest.
Yes, she was drunk and she passed out, and he apparently had to grab it hard enough that she woke up after being drunk sleep. So it probably wasn't no.
Man, something don't smell right about that pot of chitlins, man.
That's what I'm saying. You could have just checked her wrist off. Not only that, her friends were there, so I don't know
And
why you didn't.
also the fact that she was able to be cognizant enough to where she didn't she if she can feel that, then she didn't need her pulse checked at all.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's weird. And the thing, the big story came out because some reason, as I said on our show when me and Tori did this, somehow it's not even about them. It's about this guy named Miski, who apparently, when she woke up, sent his girlfriend at the time and his one of his other best friends. Allegedly, we don't know if he actually sent them. That is the story that Andrea's side is putting out. But he sent them to make her smooth over the story. Basically, we're gonna say coercion because I'm not gonna say blackmail. That's what they said. It's not blackmail if you still wrote the story. Blackmail would be if you write the story, we will extort you and you will lose everything. That's blackmail. It's a coercion. It's like maybe it wasn't as bad. Maybe he was thinking he was checking your polls, and just write that down like that, which is coercion. I just want people to know the difference between coercion and blackmail. It is a very big difference because blackmail is a big felony. Coercion is
Why it gotta be black?
Why gotta be blackmail? It's all, but it's a serious situation though. But yeah,
Yes, very, very,
but
very. We do take that shit serious. Like, bro, if he was being a weirdo and a creep and doing extra shit, man, I don't condone that shit. But also, I'm on the side of it as well. Like, if somebody trying to make something out of nothing, then I got a problem with that too. So, 'cause I've seen
but
too many black males go down for that shit.
but apparently everybody agreed that he did it because he came out with the story that he checked the pulse through it, like which makes it like okay, so you did touch a tit, so you admit it. So so basically submitted. They went over there, and ultimately Maya admitted that she might have had a pressure situation. She said she didn't understand it at the time because she was younger, and that she didn't want her to not tell her story, but she wanted to like make sure you say it right so it doesn't cause complications. Because if you say a wrong word, it might lead to a bad scenario, which could be coercion if you being honest. Because if you be like, don't call it this, so it don't sound as bad, because it might not be that, and you don't want to ruin lives over it. That is coercion. That is a coercion take. But that is not blackmail, which is what one thing been accused of. You know what I mean? I don't want. I want to make sure we get everything right.
Can we
Yeah,
also keep it? Can we also keep it right the fact that no black males were involved in this?
none. It's all. Not even the two black males that's in OTK. They was nowhere near around at that time. It was. They were gone. They were not here. They were doing their own thing somewhere. But way before they even joined. So apparently they told her to do that. She put it out. Um, Mitch Jones is one of the guys that they alleged he sent there. That Mitch sent there. He tells Trainwrecks wait a year. Miskiff and Pokemon is on gambling. This is why I said gambling started this. They're like, ban gambling, get rid of these people, and Trainwrecks is like, because this loser had this dude named Crazy Slick who stole $300,000. It's too long of a story to tell y'all always, so I'm just gonna skip it.
Yeah, y'all study to show thyself approved.
Yeah, yeah. He stole $300,000 from his viewers and other people, and apparently he gambled it all away. So they had him on the show, and Trainwreck said, "This they don't need to ban gambling because he makes." Aiden Ross and him probably made $100 million on gambling streams last year.
Bro, Aiden just said on the other day, said it feels like I just dropped $4 million on the street.
That's for this month, by the way. So they making bank. I think their contracts be $30-40 million. So they lose it. So of course Trainwreck's mad. Miskiff came out there and under his comments and said, "Oh, you should talk about joke calm, scammer." And train wrecks basically the story I told you, told the story and said before you come from me, you better make sure your house ain't glass. And before you send, what you gonna do? Send two people to blackmail me and hide a essay? And I'm like, and everybody on Twitch stopped for a minute because they're like, we went from this dude need to get help for $300,000 to some serious stuff, which it comes in the story we told. And Miss Kim deleted the tweet. We ain't seen him since. He is on leave from OTK, who he is the owner and founder of. I don't know if he's still the owner. I know he's the founder. Like I know people always say he owns it. How can he get let go? They report him as a founder and has. If y'all anything know about business, people can lose their ownership very easily through a bunch of different methods, or they want to give it up or something. We are not sure on how that's because I don't think it's a publicly traded company. It's not public, so we're not privy to if he's still an owner, right? Because of how it's the way it's set up. And he's on leave, and a bunch of other stories came out. Hassan and XQC arguing over nothing, but a lot of other stuff ain't nothing. That's the big story that we care about. All the other stuff is like petty, nerd, ego chicks.
That's the
Story.
thing. All I'm saying is, man, you nerds, man, out there, you
I will
gotta
call
you
them.
gotta
I
be
will call
you
them nerd ego chicks. I will call them nerds because they are doing nerdy things. And nerds is
you
what they
gotta if you
Miss Kim
gonna
is a
be
lame, by the way. I just want him and Crazy Sticks are lames. It's different. I want to separate.
there's lames, there's nerds. At the end of the day, if you got an ego, see, I've had an ego my whole life. If you just now started getting one, not because you Elliot Rogers, not because you Elliot Rogers, don't have an Elliot Rogers ego. Don't do that. Don't be fighting against the Chads. We don't respect that shit. But what we do respect, see, I've had an ego my whole life, and it's because I think I worked hard for it. It's warranted, and I got blessed with great genes. That helps. I'm sorry for some people that didn't get great genes, and I don't mean to be on the ground. What is it? What are we doing? GCW. What's the ground? What's the ground game? What is it? GGC.
GGC Mafia grind game crazy.
I'm sorry if y'all didn't get those genes. It is what it is. But you made it to a place where you're successful. Stay humble. Stay the person that you were. Don't be on a revenge path because that's all y'all doing is trying to get revenge against all the times that people didn't treat y'all right, man. Y'all going in you back to y'all middle school days and y'all elementary school days when y'all got
And
picked on and all
that's
that
for the
stuff.
other people in this situation that Joe talking to now. He ain't talking
That's what I'm
to.
talking. That's what I'm talking about.
Miss Kim them. That's police problem.
Yeah, that's police problems. All I'm saying is if you make it big and you were somebody that may have gotten picked on when you was a kid and all that type of stuff, don't come back on a revenge mission. Just be happy you made it and don't act like you better than the girl that you talk to and don't what they say um you know project. Don't project your problems on the other people because that might be a good person for you. Don't do that shit. Just be happy you made it and continue to be a good person, but don't be stupid. And I'm gonna give you another tip since you have never been with a bad bitch before. Relax. Don't do too much. Don't buy everything in the world. Be cool, man. Keep acting like you've always acted, man. All right? Don't do too much. Because I'm gonna say this just like I say about Tom Brady. If Tom Brady had never made it to the NFL and got on them Super Bowls, he would have never had Giselle. Relax, okay? When y'all brothers that ain't never had no girls before, nothing like that, relax, okay? You here now. Act like you been here before. Or else you're gonna end up in a situation like these cats where they don't know what to do when they got a whole lot to do. Do you hear me? That's what I got to say about that. Any final words from you, Zelmay?
I appreciate everybody for listening. Um, keep stomping. Prayer to the Raleigh High School football team. They lost a young man in a car accident, so prayers out to them. I
Say
love
something
y'all.
positive. Say something positive because I have to do my closeout.
Hey, keep
I'm not doing my closeout after you say something like that.
All right, it's serious though, but I says keep stopping. Why? Because hey, listen, they made it. You can too. Keep grinding. I know the journey might be long and hard, but you got it because you alpha. Something amazing happened.
Thank you. Now, ladies, if you're looking for somebody that's not just gonna drop $4 million on the street, if you're looking for that $4 million just right there on the street, then look no further than me. That's right. Bartholomew on ChristianMingle.com. That's right. Go to Bartholomew. Go to ChristianMingle.com. You can look up Bartholomew. And baby girl, I'm the $4 million you always needed. Also, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and mama, I'm on Spotify every Thursday. You already know the deal. Overall 99 Media is going down. We do what we want to do. Man Cave, Just a Fan. Over in, what's it called? WrestleMania, Friday Night, we got this. Oh, what we got? Make It Make Sense. Blur Cartel out here in the building. I mean, we just out here. So many shows for you to watch. So make sure that you check out with us. Zelmay, bring yourself back in and tell us where they can find you.
As I said, you can find me in the link tree below. You can find me at 99_Zelmay. You can find me in the link tree, just Zelmay in link tree. You just search it up. You can find everything you need right there. Books, podcast, merch, everything. And I'm looking cute, looking sexy.
And put the camera back on me one more time. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Do You Hear Me? With Uniqo Williams. I holla. Thanks for watching. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. Don't forget, every Thursday, the full podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and mama, I'm on Spotify. Overall 99 ENT bring you videos from Friday all the way to Friday. So be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. Again, thank you so much. I holla.